Hey guys, what's up? It's Carson, and today I'm going to give you 7 less talked about tips for how to win Camp NaNoWriMo. It is no secret on my channel that I have tried NaNoWriMo and I have failed at NaNoWriMo many times in my life, but I continue trying every time because I love the community. I love the atmosphere that NaNoWriMo creates, everybody getting together and writing and supporting each other, and so I want to take part in that even if I don't hit the 50,000 words. So I try Camp NaNoWriMo pretty much every time it comes around, as well as NaNoWriMo, which means I try 3 months out of the year to hit 50,000 words in whatever project I'm working on. While I don't always hit those 50,000 words, I rarely hit those 50,000 words, I have learned a lot about writing throughout trying. And these are some of the tips that I'm going to be using this time around come April to really help me try and hit those 50,000 words in my new project. My first tip is to set your alarm. I know not everybody is a morning person. I oscillate between being a morning and a night person. It really depends on the day, the week, the month, my mood, all kinds of different variables. But in the morning, if you can set aside even a half hour to work on your writing before anything else comes up, before you have any other obligations, that's the best time to write because you're not going to be able to put it off as easily, and also there's nothing else that you have scheduled at that time, so you don't have to feel guilty about writing versus doing something else because that time is for your writing. And it's also time that you're setting aside that you didn't have in your schedule beforehand. So it's like new time, it's fresh time. Tip number 2 is to consolidate your material. Wherever it is you're going to be writing this project, keep everything about that writing there. So if you work on your plot in index cards and then you write a little bit in a notebook, but you're going to be writing on Google Drive, then you need to transfer all of that stuff over to Google Drive before April starts, or to Scrivener, or to your notebook if you're handwriting. And the reason I'm saying this is because I am working on my second novel right now and I'm trying to finish it. And it has gotten so hard when I finish a scene and I don't have the next scene already loaded into my Scrivener to then stop what I'm doing, stop the flow that I'm in, go get my notebook, find the scene, and put it back into my document. I'm out of my flow already. I had a groove going and now I've completely disrupted that because I didn't have all of my things in one place. So you want to make it as hard as possible for yourself to put down your writing and go do something else where you can get distracted and most likely waste time. Tip number 3 is to prep before bed. This tip goes along with setting your alarms. If you're going to be writing in the morning, which I highly recommend because once you get to the end of your day, odds are you didn't do everything on your to-do list because we're human and we don't normally get to everything on our to-do lists, and writing ends up seeming like less of a priority than those other things because if you're not somebody who writes every day and you're not somebody who writes a lot every day, then NaNoWriMo is something that you're adding into your schedule, and all of these other things that you do day after day, month after month, those seem more important than this new thing that goes all the way at the bottom of your list. So it's easier to put off at night than it is in the morning. If you're going to be writing in the morning, I suggest strongly that you prep before you go to bed. So get everything pulled up on your computer, get all of those documents that you need in Google Drive pulled up, have your Scrivener set up, get everything you need to write, whether that's a glass of water, a notebook by your side, your playlist set up, and put that all out on your desk, a clean desk preferably, before you go to bed. That way, when you wake up to that new alarm that's set a little bit earlier than it normally is, and you don't want to do it, you turn around and you look at your desk and everything is already set up and ready for you. You literally just need to get out of bed and into your desk. And if you're like me and your desk is right by your bed, sometimes that means just pulling your laptop onto your bed and writing in your bed instead of at your desk. Tip number 4 is to take those scenes that really inspired your story, those scenes that you're excited to write, the ones that always come to mind when you start thinking of this novel idea, write those on a post-it note or an index card, or make them really pretty and make aesthetic boards. That is not my deal. I've tried. I don't know how it works. I don't know how people do it. But if that's what you do all that, print it out and put it up somewhere. Put it up in front of your desk, put it up on your bedroom wall, on your closet door, put it up somewhere so that you can see A, why you're writing the story, why you're excited about the story, and B, so that when you need a little bit of extra inspiration and motivation to get your writing done, you can pick one of those off your wall or behind your desk or your door, and you can write that day. You know that you're excited about that scene. That is one of the scenes that inspired you to write this story in the first place. And so when you're really lagging and you really don't want to write, grab one of those scenes and write that. Even if it's out of order, even if you don't actually put that scene into your Google Drive or your Scrivener document, but you put it somewhere else because it goes in later and you can't write out of order, that's totally fine. The words still count, and you got your words in for the day, and you also kind of reignited that spark for the story that you're writing for the rest of the month. Tip number 5 is to have an alternative activity ready. If you have time set aside for writing, I strongly recommend giving yourself 2 options. You either write or you do something else. For me, that'll probably be writing or working out. If I choose not to write, if I feel like writing isn't going to happen today or it's not going to happen right now, I'm not motivated, my only other option is to do my workout. I can't go read, which is probably what I want to do. I can't go watch TV. I can't go get a snack. I can write or work out. Those are my 2 options. So no, I don't have to write. I don't have to force myself to write. But if I don't force myself to write, I have to go get my workout done. This way, you're pitting 2 tasks against each other. They're 2 tasks that you already need to do during the day. So hypothetically, it doesn't really matter if you do one over the other, and also it's going to keep you more focused on your priorities, because like I said a little bit earlier, writing can easily slip down to the bottom of that to-do list because it's not something that needs to get done when you look at the grand scheme of things, right? Like, you need to feed yourself. You need to go to work or go to school, get your homework done, get your work done, hang out with your family, take care of your kids. Those things need to get done. Writing, you can put it on the back burner because it's for you. It's not for anybody else. And as human beings, we tend to feel more beholden to the tasks that have something to do with somebody else, that somebody else is dependent on us to do. But writing is important because it is your task. It's for you. It's your hobby. It's your passion. This is your story. And so remove all of those other tasks. Give yourself 2, preferably 2 tasks that need to get done and that are just for you. And when you set aside your time to write, you can either write or do that other thing. Tip number 6 is figure out what you're good at and do it. Writing is hard. I know writing is hard. Finding motivation to write is even harder than doing the actual writing. And so figure out what it is that you really love about your writing. You feel like you're really, really good at. Is it writing characters? Is it description? Is it witty banter? What is it? Is it world building? And do that when you feel like you absolutely can't do anything else. So if you sit down and you only have 20 minutes and you're burnt out from earlier in the day and you really don't want to write where you're at in your story, then write a description for a new side character. Give a little extra witty banter in the scene that you wrote yesterday. Take what you're good at and do that, because most of the time you're gonna like it and you're gonna be happy with it at the end of the day, even if it's not as many words as you originally wanted to get. And finally, tip number 7 is embrace the chaos. I love a good routine as much as anybody else. I love planning out my day. Sometimes planning out my day is the only way that things get done, but also sometimes that plan doesn't go the way you want it to. Sometimes people interrupt your plan or events interrupt your plan. Things that you didn't think you had to get done, you now have to get done. And that can be really frustrating. And again, we're adding writing into our schedule. We already have a well-formed routine that we've been doing for I don't know, years, months, doesn't matter. That's our routine. We're adding something in, and that's going to cause a couple of bumps along the way. When things don't go to plan, it's easy to blame the things that you didn't have in your schedule. So those unexpected events that you need to go to, or those tasks that you need to do, and writing can sometimes get lumped into that category. So I think that it's always a good idea to embrace the chaos. Write in some place that you've never written before. Write in the car. Write on your phone while you're waiting in line. Ask somebody to tell you what to write. Give them 2 options. What should the character do next? Have them pick for you. Use random generators online. Find something that adds a little bit of interest to your story, something that you didn't already have pre-planned in your schedule that you have allotted for in your story, something new and fresh and fun. Maybe it ends up in your novel, maybe it doesn't, but again, we're not really worried about the end product here for NaNoWriMo. We're worried about getting to our word count every day, because that's the name of the game. So embrace that chaos that's going to come up in your life. I mean, it's a whole month that you're trying to write, what, 1,667 words a day? There's going to be unexpected things that come up in a whole month. I mean, it's COVID-19. That's not unexpected enough. So embrace your chaos. Go with it. See where it leads you. It might lead you to someplace really cool and interesting that you never even considered before. That's all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below if you have some unconventional, non-traditional, less talked about writing tips for the rest of us as we all head into April together and try to write 50,000 words. I am really interested to hear. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more reading and writing content from me, please subscribe down below. I would love to have you guys here, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye!